All right, let's get into the fun half in a fun manner. The Brexit vote obviously has been a little bit problematic for Great Britain, and it is a lot of the motivation of Brexit, I think, was problematic. And you have conversations like we did yesterday where you realize, like, it's also problematic in terms of like the greater implications for the EU in terms of multinational organizations, even if they are problematic, the organizations in and of themselves, in the policies that they come up with because of the power dynamics within those organizations. But much of this is a process. To get to the more benevolent multinational organizations, you may have to work through some of the less benevolent ones. But here is a rather hilarious exchange. And, we've tried to make the point on this program that it's not just Trump is the problem in this country. It's all the people who support Trump. And really, even that may be too narrow, because it's just, the problem is a lot of times it's just largely people, just in general. And here is, I guess, Exhibit A that I would offer to the court. Here is
Blaming the Electorate, Global Edition.
Global Edition. This is apparently, I'm not quite clear. One of these MPs is David Davies. I'm not going to tell you anything else about him. And he wears a camera on his chest, like an iPhone contraption or something, presumably to protect himself from people who come at him with cameras. And there is a Brexit supporter who approaches him who has an accessory, which is basically a wearable microphone that broadcasts her voice as she
It looks like
films
a beer
them.
helmet.
This is like
it looks like a beer helmet, literally.
Now, understand, look,
and
this
he's
is a country.
he's pro Brexit.
Well,
Sorry.
nothing like tipping the joke.
I'm sorry.
Understand this country. There's a lot of pressure going on here because they can't quite figure out a plan to exit the EU, and they can't figure out whether they're going to do a redo on the vote. There's a lot of, I can't even follow it, frankly. And here's part of the reason why. Here is that MP and his run-in with a Brexiteer.
Yeah. How does it make you feel?
Well, obviously what I will do is record it, so I'm actually going to turn my camera on now to record this lady, and I will put anything abusive onto Twitter, because I think it's unacceptable.
So somebody's asking, a news person's asking him, like, well, how does it feel to be attacked all the time? And he's like, well, I record with the camera on my chest, and then I immediately put it to Twitter. So
this is very 2019, like technological warfare on both
This
sides.
is a Twitter conversation in real life.
This is the like the 2019 version of two bald men fighting over a comb.
Because I think it's unacceptable.
Why is he feeling intimidated? Well, you've got a bloody great camera there on it, for God's sake. What's the difference with my phone?
Well, because when you're talking,
I was quiet. Usually I stopped talking when I came home. I was quiet. Right? When I came here, I was quiet. I was just going to listen to what he was saying, but now I can tell he's a remoaner. He must be a Remain. Did you vote Remain?
Actually,
Are you an MP?
I am an MP.
Are you an MP? Did you vote to Remain?
No, I voted to leave, actually.
Well, I don't know. Why are you acting like a snowflake then? You know what a snowflake?
Like a snowflake, but
well, you are, because you got a little bit intimidated by me.
No, I'm not intimidated by you, but
Well,
you
you
might
said
make
it.
false allegations
Of what?
against me. Well, I don't know, so I'm recording.
Have you done something to be accused of?
So anyway, that's the kind of, funny enough, I think this lady's actually on the Brexit side, which is my side of the argument, but basically it's the same.
Well, you're not acting like a Brexiteer. You're being very. Well, you see, actually, no. If you are a Brexiteer, no, honestly, if you are a Brexiteer, then this is what Brexiteers have been.
Because I campaigned for Brexit. Where were you? Where were you people when I was out campaigning for Brexit? You were nowhere. You're behind your keyboards, and now you've come out, right?
Pause it for 1 second. So understand, this MP is waiting for Remainers to come around and harass him, but he gets harassed by a Brexiter who, when she realizes that he voted for Brexit, then she's stuck needing a reason to be antagonistic towards him. So she just basically asks, well, is there something that I should be accusing you of? Have you done something wrong? And the only thing I can tell you, she's wearing a Baked Alaska hat. No, it's isn't it? Or no?
No, it says based Amy.
Oh.
And based is an alt-right term that basically, I guess it just essentially, I think.
Is that who she is?
Basically, and maybe that's her. But it means that you're red-pilled. So it's just, again, the global sort of
She's
use.
the new Baked Alaska.
there you go.
She's a lot more
he's
entertaining.
A cuck now.
Right.
Yeah, Baked Alaska was like, hey, I was just being a show business asshole. I'm not sure I'm totally into this.
You see her also, she calls him, he's a Brexiter, but not Brexiter enough for her, like, because he voted for something to, like, delay
that was what she voted for
comes.
Theresa May's delay.
I campaigned for Brexit. Where were you? Where were you people when I was out campaigning for Brexit? You were nowhere. You're behind your keyboards and now you've come out, right? You were not a Brexiteer.
Oh, you always haven't watched my footage.
I
Before you
actually
say
was
it
campaigning for
anymore.
Brexit and have been for years, so I don't need to be given lectures by
Did you
people
vote
like you.
for the deal?
I did vote for the deal.
You
but-
voted for the deal! Oh my
Yeah.
God! And that, have you read the deal?
Yeah, I've read the deal.
And it means not to leave.
And how many MPs?
Right? It means we don't
How many
leave. So
MPs?
you were a liar. You did not vote to leave.
There we are then.
You didn't vote to leave.
People like
Have you read
maybe
it?
want to join the
Well, you see,
EU
I've
again.
read the withdrawal agreement. Unlike this man who's
Yeah.
an MP, and shame, what is your name then if you're an MP?
Never mind what my name is. I'm not talking
Well,
to
I guess I'll find out when I watch the BBC,
well,
the line
you
BBC.
carry on. Anyway, that's why I'm.
So he voted for the deal, and this guy's pretending like he's a leaver. What a liar! You're a liar. Shame on you. You're a traitor. You signed that document that is nothing. It's not even. You can't even say it's leaving.
That's what you put up with when you're out here all the time.
Oh
There's
dear.
another
Have
one
you
over
heard?
here now.
Oh, look. I mean, this guy. I think you picked the wrong job. If you can't cope with somebody walking along with.
I can cope with it. I can sit here all day, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't know.
give a
You
damn.
seem like you're a little bit agitated.
I'm not
You're
agitated. You're the person who's got
Is
nothing
that what
better
a
to do.
traitor feels like? You should feel uncomfortable. You
Yeah,
betrayed
yeah.
17.4
What have you
million
actually
people.
done for your country? I spent 10 years in uniform for my country. I bet you've done
Well,
nothing for yours,
that's
have you?
even less. You shouldn't keep telling me what
Yeah.
you do, because so far you're not impressing me. If you serve the country, then you should know about sovereignty.
Yeah, I
you should
do.
know about democracy.
I know about people with big mouths and access to a keyboard as well.
Do you hear this guy? He owes you there. Listen to him. Yeah, he's really. So what position did you get to in your army
talking to you.
career?
It's not interesting at all. Really.
Well, you're the one who's opening a big mouth and accusing me of things.
I'm the one opening my
So
big
tell me,
mouth.
what part of
I'm the
that
one.
deal has anything to do with
I'm the one
Brexit?
opening my
Wait,
big mouth.
tell
I'm
me.
the one opening my big mouth.
Tell me, what part of that?
I'm not interested in
Well,
talking
you're
to you.
an MP, for God's sake. You're
Yeah.
a member of
I'm
Parliament.
not your MP, am I?
Thank God.
Carry on.
Thank
Let's do a
God
bit in
you're not.
Welsh. Good night.
So this man,
I thought
he
just sang about the any.
Brexit, right? He claims he voted for Brexit, but he
Device.
signed the deal. He voted for the deal. That is a total betrayal of Brexit. It's a total. No, you know what? I'm fed up. Listen, no. Listen, you guys are a disgrace as well. How much have you been paid? How much has BBC been paid to promote the European Union?
Good evening.
I mean, this is.
And wow.
I
You
feel
hate
like.
to see it.
Well, no, I feel like it literally is like Twitter in real life. Like it just these two people who ostensibly are both like what they're doing is about politics, and it clearly has nothing to do about politics. It's just they're just searching desperately for a reason to get into a fight with each other or to avoid. It's just so.
We're both extremely emotionally disturbed, but in different ways. Let's
Exactly.
collide.
I don't want to be pedantic, but I'm pretty sure that predates Twitter.
Well, no, it does predate Twitter, but it is. I think it is basically 3/4 of what Twitter is.
Yeah, Twitter lets you amplify.
That's what I'm not saying that.
Twitter is
I'm not saying that Twitter.
online.
Right, but and I don't think there was nearly as much of this type of stuff, frankly, pre-Twitter.
I don't know. I
I
got
bet
kind of
she's
like
not
a Monty
motivated.
Python vibe from
It
it.
was very Monty
Yes,
Python.
except for it wasn't a comedy show. It was literally just two people on the street, like
including
This
one
is-
being an MP.
No, this is the future of the.
with a body like he had that. Was
That's what I'm saying. This is the future of the info war. He's got like his
Right.
rig. He's got like a
Yep.
camera to his chest and a camera, and then she's got like some sort of voice projection technology. It's like everyone like this is how mech suits start. Except,
her voice projection technology was so awesome.
But
I wanna
I'm not going to
copy
be
that.
satisfied with this until they're both wearing jetpacks, and so that they can just both fly up and then just sort of like
Yeah. This is how Pacific Rim
I
starts.
don't even want to
Giant
fly. I don't
hand
even
comes
want to.
down from the sky and just smites them both.
I don't even want to turn my jetpack on for you.
It's like Transformers, but
like
instead of like guns,
Transformers
it's
of the
like
petty.
media technology.
He won't even turn on his jetpack. Now look at this, you liar.
What I think is would be so interesting to me is like disaggregating like the difference between people who vote for things like Brexit, and I think Brexit was more so than Trump, of people that are really just disgusted and fed up, and like the people who are disgusted and fed up are the opposite in the ecosystem. Like they don't want to talk to an MP. I think they want to be like left alone and have things change, and then like the actual like Trump Brexiteer voters. I mean, I'm guessing that woman is not, that's not the, and I think it's real. I don't mean this sarcastically, but she is not in the misdirected populist anger or economic anger. I'd be very interested to hear her thoughts on the Romanian question, the Jewish question, the Pakistani question, the Nigerian question.
I think she probably falls into the category of misdirected anger, but just not the type of
it's definitely a huge amount of misdirected anger.
Based Amy is who she is, and she is a free speech and anti-Sharia activist.
Right, of course.
Oh, so she's angry at Sharia.
Right, free speech and anti-Sharia.
So we have another angle of this.
Stop them from speaking out.
Oh, this is hers.
He's intimidated.
Well, obviously, what I would do is record it. So I'm actually going to turn my camera on now to record this lady, and I will put anything.
What did I do? I just walked up here filming. Why is he feeling intimidated? Well, you've got a bloody great camera there on him, for God's sake. What's the difference with my phone?
Well, because when you're talking...
I was quiet. You see, I stopped talking when I came... No, I was quiet.
Oh, my gosh.
We are truly living in the spectacle.
Oh my God! But you know what? This is the most compelling argument against socialism, because even after all of the Tory cuts, the UK still has things like the NHS, which allow this woman to be a pest.
Yeah, she doesn't even have many subs.
All of her basic needs are taken care of.
Yeah,
so she
maybe
can go
they,
and harass people with voice projection.
Maybe they paid for that voice projection technology.
Yeah, she probably
her
got
voice
that.
is too quiet.
Yeah, that voice projection technology could be some type of like advanced speaking capacity thing that Labor introduced.
Or it could be
like people
one
with
of those...
soft voices need help.
Oh, Lord.
This lady can harass people on the street about Sharia. She call him a remoaner.
Yeah. I love the fact that it's just like, oh, you're on my side politically? Well, then why is such a snowflake?
Well, that's the part that is Twitter. Like we played that thing where Gordon Brown talked about that woman that was complaining about Polish workers in like 2008, and she didn't have any sort of vocabulary like that. This woman had like an entire set of talking points that were like, oh, so you're a remoaner. You sound like a snowflake.
Well, that was actually fascinating. Could we take a detour on this for just 1 second? It was a fascinating conversation we had, because in 2009, Gordon Brown was caught on a hot mic. He was out campaigning, and a woman who, so she's an old lady, and maybe today she wouldn't. I don't know how bad she was. I feel kind of bad trashing her, but she did give him she said, "Why are there so many Romanians here?" Right? And this is 2009. So maybe today she would be really awful in Brexit, or maybe she would have pulled back from that trajectory. Who knows? But she said that. She didn't have any of this other rhetoric. That was as far as it went. And he kind of was like, all right, well, at first he actually tried. He said, well, there's 1 million Britons in the Eurozone too. So that's not exactly true that they're just flooding us. We go back and forth. And then, he wrapped it up and basically was like, I hope you vote Labor. Then he goes in his car and he's on a hot mic. And he's like, who let me with that woman? And they're like, what? And she's like, oh, just this awful bigoted woman. She was just awful. We're complaining about Romanians, just a bigot. The whole thing was ridiculous. And what I wondered today, though, is like on one side, that woman could have the whole Brexit lane for her if that's where she was, and she could get amplified in her bigotry. But conversely, Gordon Brown, it was a disaster at that time. But I think today there would be shows like ours that would be like, all right, Gordon Brown, nicely done. Fair enough, buddy.
Right.
It might have worked really well for him.
Right. Well, I mean, we didn't have we had memes, but they were very far and few between. Like they were like, where's the beef? Or what's up?
Got milk?
Got milk.
You're getting Adele.
Yeah.
Somebody
exactly.
stop me.
Right. All ads. It was all, or, not.
Not still pretty good.
Oh, God.
That's why Sacha Baron Cohen was so good.
My
wife.
My wife. Yeah. My wife. He
All right,
did
let's,
not. He was like,